To get better at boxing, you need to have a great boxing session. And in this video, I will explain the perfect boxing session in order. I have been boxing for over 5 years, and I found that training in this order is the best when it comes to improving at boxing for most people. On average, most people train for 1 to 2 hours, and that is enough time to get better at boxing. This session focuses on quality training, which is effective. So you should start off your boxing session by stretching for 3 to 5 minutes or going for a light jog to prevent injuries. A few good stretches can be dead hangs and shoulder rotating movements, since your shoulders are very vulnerable to injuries in boxing compared to any other muscle. Just do it before heading out to the boxing gym. The second thing you need to include in your boxing session is road work. You can do it before or after your boxing session, but most boxers like to do it before their boxing session since it improves your breathing and it warms up your body. On average, running anywhere from 1 to 2 miles should be enough since you have to save up energy for your boxing training. Doing road work 2 to 3 times a week is enough. Another thing you can do is running 5 miles for one day, and then on the other 2 days you can do sprints and low intensity running. Sprints are very effective to improve stamina since they are very similar to interval training, which is proven to improve stamina. The third thing you need to include in your training routine is shadow boxing for about 15 minutes while taking 40 seconds break in between. Start off by doing 4 3-minute rounds focusing on form and technique. It helps improves your form, speed, and stamina. Do it in front of a mirror so you can check out your form, and you can also use light dumbbells if you want to see better results for your hand speed. Additionally, try to visualize an opponent in front of you if you want to get good fast with shadow boxing. It will take you about 30 minutes to get done with road work and shadow boxing, which are 2 important things for a good boxing session. Try using things like slip line or slip bag while shadow boxing so you can work on your head movement at the same time. This way you will improve at a rapid speed, and I recommend shadow boxing at least 5 to 6 times a week, even if you can't make it to the fighting gym. Use it for different things, like improving your head movement or footwork. The fourth thing you need to do in order to have the perfect boxing session is to train on the heavy bag for about 20 minutes. Bag work is by far one of the most important things in a good boxing session, since you need to perfect your boxing form, speed, and punching power. Just do about 5 rounds on the heavy bag for 3 minutes each. If you have some extra time, you can focus on improving your endurance by going all out on the heavy bag for 4 to 5 minutes, while continuously throwing easy boxing combinations like jab and cross. After bag work, sparring is the best thing to include in your training routine since you will be warmed up and your form will be good. Sparring about 1 to 2 times a week is more than enough for most people who want to get better at boxing. On the days you spar, don't use the heavy bag for more than 15 minutes since it will save time and stamina, and you won't be tired while sparring. For most people, sparring from 4 to 8 rounds is enough. Focus on light sparring and your form and technique. The only time you should be hard sparring is when preparing for a fight. Hard sparring can cause injuries and make you tired for multiple days. One thing I recommend on sparring days is to focus on drills that don't make you tired, like footwork or head movement drills. It helps you save up energy for sparring, and you can go all out. You don't have to do tons of drills every day. Quality matters a lot in order to have a good boxing session. A great example of a good boxing session on sparring days is shadow boxing for a few minutes, then training on the heavy bag or doing mitt work for a few minutes and then move on to sparring. The main point is not to tire yourself out before sparring. On the days you are not sparring, move on to mitt work after bag work. Mitt work is one of the best training drills for boxing since it improves your accuracy, speed, reaction time, and footwork all together. Mitt work primarily helps your accuracy, which is a very important aspect for boxing. The good thing about mitt work is that you can do them almost every day and not get injured or tired since it doesn't take that long, but usually 2 to 3 times is enough for most people. You can see almost every boxer's training routine, and mitt work plays a crucial role. The reason why I put it at last is because it does not require a lot of stamina, and you can ask your coach to lower the speed and intensity of the training. You can also do it before heavy bag training, but you will perform better when you train on the heavy bag for a few minutes and then move on to mitt work. After all that, you should end your boxing session by training abs and doing strength and conditioning workouts. I recommend people to just leave the boxing gym when you're done with everything else so you can train your core while doing strength and conditioning. The best core workout is doing leg raises or hanging leg raises for 3 sets over 20 reps and then doing decline crunches with some weights. At last, you should do planks since they are one of the best exercises to strengthen your core. Everyone who has trained for a few months knows how hard planks can feel after their boxing training. The reason why you should train your core after your boxing session is because it isn't the most important part of training and you don't have to push yourself too hard. For strength and conditioning, you should keep it simple, training no more than 4 times a week. Usually you can do 3 full body split or a push-pull leg and full body if you want to build a good amount of muscle. If your goal is to improve at boxing at a very fast rate so you can compete, the best split is 2 full body and 1 plyometrics workout. That is what I did when I competed, since it does not cause muscle soreness and overtraining. Plyometrics training focuses on improving your strength and speed. Some of the best plyometrics exercises for boxing are ball slams, landmine press, and squat jumps. All 3 of these exercises prioritizes the 3 important muscles for boxing, which are shoulder, legs, and core. For your strength training, you can take a screenshot of these workout splits and choose the right one which fits your schedule. The main thing these workout splits focus on is building a good amount of muscle so you can look better and it makes you stronger at the same time. It does not have 10 exercises in one day like a bodybuilder's split, and focuses on compound lifts with a few exercises which are important for the way your physique looks. If you don't have access to equipment, you can do push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and bicep curl with a backpack filled with rice or books. If you got some money, just get a power tower with a weighted vest and you can do almost any workout with it. Strength training is certainly useful if you do it the right way, and there is a good reason why almost every modern boxers lift weights. To summarize it, start off by light stretching, and you should do road work and shadow boxing, or use the jump rope for a few minutes instead of road work. After that, you can incorporate bag work for a few minutes and sparring. On the days you spar, you can end your boxing session faster by finishing it off with some core training. If you are not sparring, just do mitt work and some additional footwork or partner drills. A good advice is to focus on these drills but add different things to it. For example, use a slip bag while shadow boxing. You can also go and train on the reflex bag for a few minutes, but your main goal should be to focus on one of these 4 important things. They are shadow boxing, sparring bag work, and mitt work. These are the 4 pillars of boxing training. Boxing isn't that complicated, and most professional boxers train in a similar way. The thing that separates them is their coach, technique, consistency, and dedication to the sport. Just watch some Mike Tyson or Floyd's training routine. The drills are similar, but both fight in a different way. Just stick to this training and you will be better than most people at your gym. On average, most people just go to the boxing gym just to flex and take some photos of them doing mitt work with a coach, and they don't focus on things like bag work or shadow boxing, so it is easier to surpass the vast majority of people who claim they box. Diet and nutrition. Focus on having a diet which includes high protein, and drink a ton of water before heading to the boxing gym. Eat something light like a fruit so you can train effectively without throwing up. I saw a lot of people throwing up while sparring at my boxing gym because they eat huge sandwiches or something before training. You just lose all your aura if you are one of them. Make sure to get over 7 hours of sleep or you will not be at your prime while training. And don't forget to take days off when you're tired or you might get injured. If you actually try, you can do it all in 2 hours, including strength training. But if your goal is to compete, you should train for longer hours. I have trained for 3-4 hours a day, but it isn't very sustainable if you have a business job or go to school, since you need time to do other activities too. For most people, quality training is way more effective than raw quantity training, since boxing has changed into a sport which requires good technique and skill over punching power or aggressiveness. Think of any modern boxer from Shakur to Terence Crawford. One thing they both have in common is good skill. Both of these guys aren't that exceptional when it comes to punching power. Both have very good technique and skill. And I'm pretty sure their boxing session focuses on quality over quantity.